You may have read or otherwise heard about an effort to create a Sojourner Truth Museum in Battle Creek. Sounds like an interesting idea, and a couple of the gentlemen helping with that effort, Pastor Bill Stein, who's with us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
And also here today, the Reverend Dr. William Bell, St. Mark's CME Church, is also with us today. Both of these gentlemen are on the board of the Truth Museum and this effort, trying to move it forward. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for the time today.
And thank you for allowing us to be here.
Well, this is a tremendous idea. Talk about how this started, would you?
Well, actually, we need to give credit to the late Dr. Velma Laws Clay. She had a passion for Sojourner Truth's history, and of course, we all know that Sojourner Truth lived here in Battle Creek. She passed away in 1883, and so for 20 years, I'm aware of Velma efforted to make Sojourner Truth Museum a reality, and she and her twin sister Vivian had been working on that endeavor. Sadly, she passed away before she could realize her dream, but last year I was fortunate enough to visit with the Laws Clay family at their Battle Creek residence, and we made a promise that we would make sure that her dream would eventually become a reality here in Battle Creek.
And Pastor Stein serves as the chair of the Truth Museum Board, and Dr. Bell is the treasurer of that board. And so the both of you are here today to talk about that effort. They say when you have an idea, you set a broad goal and try and get there. This is a pretty broad goal.
Indeed. Well, I mean, I don't know of any entrepreneurs that don't think big.
Yeah, right. Well, let's talk about what that big dream is. This is a huge idea.
Yes, it is. Typically museums invite people in and they come and spend a few hours, maybe a half a day or so with activities. We wanted to make sure that when people come to Battle Creek, it's more of an extended stay program. So, when we put this process together, we not only thought of a museum, but a hotel and conference center, even a golf course, an outdoor amphitheater, so that it would be a huge experience for an individual and a family. So that's why we wanted people to come here to the Cereal City and enjoy, several days or even a weekend here at the city of Battle Creek via the Sojourner Truth Museum and Conference Center. That is the legal name of our enterprise.
So when we talk about what that means, folks might come there for the museum experience. They might come there for an event they're staging. There could be a lot of reasons why someone's there, right?
Sure. And in addition to that, because of the Sojourner Truth initiative that we're proposing, if we can attract other folks here to Battle Creek, they can also see the other amenities, such as the Seventh-day Adventist historical site and the other amenities that are here in Battle Creek. So this is for not just for Sojourner Truth, but it's really to showcase the entire region, city of Battle Creek.
I think that if we were to talk with folks in tourism or development in the region, they would say a gem like this does have ripple effects. People come here for maybe that purpose, but end up discovering other things while they're here.
Right. Well, Dr. Bell, the Reverend Dr. Bell and I had an opportunity to meet with the mayor, and we shared these ideas with him, and he thought that it was a wonderful approach. As a matter of fact, he even took the liberty of having his photograph taken with our mock-up license plate of the Sojourner Truth campaign that we're collaborating with State Representative Dr. John Bison, and we pray that as he had pledged to reintroduce the Sojourner Truth license plate bill, because proceeds from the sale of the license plate will go to the museum to help keep the doors open. So we wanted to thank Dr. Bison publicly for his efforts to do that, and we hope others will get behind this effort as well. Sojourner Truth put Battle Creek on the map long before the major industrialist. She passed away in 1883, as I mentioned, but it wasn't until 1889, I believe, that the Post Cereal Company was born, and then 1906 is when the Kellogg Company came into being, and so she had already blazed the trail for a lot of other organizations and individuals here in the Cereal City before they began their efforts to make history as well.
And we'll talk more about that in just a minute on WBCK when we discuss the notion of big dreams. Sometimes they come with big costs. We'll ask the treasurer how that sorts out here in just a second on WBCK. We're here with Pastor Bill Stein and Reverend Dr. William Bell. They're members of the Sojourner Truth Museum Board of Directors and are talking about their concept for a Sojourner Truth Museum and Conference Center in Battle Creek. The vision right now, gentlemen, is that this could be situated in what was the Fremont School, right?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our museum organization is currently negotiating with Battle Creek Public Schools to acquire Fremont School, and if successful, then the school will be used to transition it into the new Sojourner Truth Museum and Conference Center. We're going to utilize every aspect of that property, so the playground and all of that equipment will probably be donated to Franklin, Post-Franklin School. As a matter of fact, one of the teachers from that school sent us an email via our Sojourner Truth page and was wondering if we would be willing to do that. Of course we would. And then, we would start building from behind the school all the way to the property line with KCC, because we're going to need parking. We're going to have a church on that site, and again, the conference center will also be located on that same site. So that's what we're looking forward to.
So the concept itself, we're talking about millions and millions of dollars, like $90 million?
Right.
Yeah, it'll be $91 million to be exact. The breakdown was like this. $55 million for the Sojourner Truth Museum, estimated $15 million for the hotel and conference center, $19 million for the amphitheater, and for the church $1 million, and for the golf course $1 million.
This was the original concept, which included one or all of these ideas, right?
Indeed, yeah. So, and that's one of the reasons why we needed to clarify some information that was published in the Battle Creek Inquirer. $70 million is not the dollar figure that our board has agreed upon, and that was not the information that was shared with the Inquirer. As a matter of fact, the reporter that wrote the story came up with that particular dollar figure, and I was asked if that was something that would be considered, and I said perhaps. I never said that as a definitive figure, because as you can tell from the information that the Reverend Dr. Bell just shared with us, that is what the board has elected to go with, and that will be based on all of the elements combined. And being that we're attempting to acquire an existing facility, the cost of the building will come down substantially, as you can see. We even reached out to the city to perhaps buy Binder Park Golf Course and then build the Sojourner Truth Museum campus around the golf course, thereby alleviating the taxpayers of Battle Creek of the debt that the city is still servicing with respect to Binder Park Golf Course. So it would be a wonderful facility, like I said, for people to come out and enjoy themselves, spend a day or two or three in the Battle Creek area, and then visit other, historic locations and landmarks throughout the Cereal City.
So $91 million could be your upper ceiling, whatever a concept ends up derived from all of this. It could be less than that, but maybe not, depending on the building commitments and things.
Well, and the location, too. As you mentioned moments ago, Richard, that if we acquire Fremont School, then many of these elements will have to be abandoned for the simple fact that the school is located next to a hospital. Well, a hospital's in a quiet zone, and therefore the amphitheater component would not be included. And then, of course, the golf course project would have to be scrapped, too. So as you can see, the cost of the entire project would start to decline as we move along with this endeavor. So,
all right, and we'll talk more about how they plan to pay for all this coming up in just a few minutes on WBCK. WBCK, we're here with Pastor Bill Stein and the Reverend Dr. William Bell, who are members of the Board of Directors of the Sojourner Truth Museum, which they hope to create as an attraction. I guess you feel a little strange calling it an attraction, but it would be something that folks would come to in Battle Creek, a destination that celebrates the history of Sojourner Truth. So $91 million, gentlemen. Do we have a bank account? We're ready to write that check? How does that work?
No, but we do have a GoFundMe account.
Well, that's a good place to start. Yeah.
We have a GoFundMe.com, churches for GoFundMe.com /Churches for Truth. And then we also have a second one, GoFundMe.com /Truth Building Fund.
Okay.
And you can also find us on Facebook.com /Sojourner Truth Museum.
Very good. All right. So this is a fair amount of money, Pastor Stein. I mean, $91 million. Can we get all that in a GoFundMe effort?
Well, certainly not, but
It's a start.
Somebody could write a check, I guess.
That's true. We are believers, of course. So, but that's why we reached out to Dr. John Bison to introduce legislation to create a license plate fundraiser for the Sojourner Truth Museum. So $25 from every plate sold once the bill becomes law will then be cut on a quarterly basis from the Secretary of State's office, and that would come directly to the Sojourner Truth Museum. However, there are other elements that are involved in the process. We know that people will just cut a check and send it to us, and we thank those folks in advance for doing that. Our P.O. Box is 4127 here in Battle Creek, 49016. Again, 4127, 49016 here in Battle Creek, which is the P.O. Box. We also have, as the Reverend Dr. Bell mentioned, the two GoFundMe programs. The Churches for Truth endeavor is for churches not only in Battle Creek but from all over the country to help us build the church component.
I see.
Then we have grants that we're going to be applying for. The National Council for the Arts and various other organizations provide grants for exactly what we're doing. There are philanthropic organizations here in Battle Creek, 5 to be exact, and we hope all 5 of them will get behind our efforts. We're going to be applying for grants outside of the Battle Creek, Calhoun County, and Michigan communities as well. There are a lot of corporate organizations that have sponsored my church in the past, and I've shared it with them, and they're interested. And so if you combine all of those resources, we'll be able to do that. And we're also going to be reaching out to Oprah Winfrey. When I learned that for the Smithsonian's newest attraction in Washington, D.C., the National African American History Museum, Oprah cut a check for $100 million.
Oh, my.
And she donated to that effort. Of course, she's on that board of directors. And as a matter of fact, the theater inside the new museum is named in her honor. Of course, I mean, if I cut a check for $100 million,
That's right.
Might happen.
So God bless you, Oprah. Thank you very much. But Kerry Washington, Denzel Washington, various others throughout the country have mentioned that they see Sojourner Truth as a hero of theirs. And once this information is made national, and I pray that it will be, more and more people will gravitate towards this effort. After all, we want to showcase her life and legacy, and Battle Creek is a major part of that. And as Dr. Bell and I, when we met with the mayor, shared with him that we were upset, if you will, about the fact that the state of Michigan's marketing site, Pure Michigan, doesn't mention Battle Creek at all on the homepage. And, they're willing to mention the former Jackson prison, but they're not willing to talk about the Cereal City. And, Mayor Walters even confirmed that he too had visited that website, and Battle Creek did not get a shout out, if you will. And so we pray that once the Sojourner Truth Museum is up and running, that Battle Creek will be prominently placed not only on that page, but throughout these travel and tourism guides and websites, so that Battle Creek will become a point of destination for the travel and tourism industry.
I'm running out of time. How much money do we have now? Or how close are we to that 91?
Oh, we're far from achieving that goal. Remember, this is a new endeavor. We were incorporated here in the state of Michigan in January of this year. So if that gives you some idea of where we are, some folks, they wait until the paint dries before they want to contribute.
Understand.
And we're asking people to let their faith be their guide. This is for Sojourner Truth, but it's also for Battle Creek. And we need to let the whole world know that Battle Creek is behind this, from City Hall, right on over to, the Kellogg Foundation, if you will. Please, ladies and gentlemen, we need your support. So help us, expand Battle Creek's notoriety. And of course, come and learn about the life and legacy of Sojourner Truth.
We'll share the links to those GoFundMes and other information if you wish to donate on our website later, and you can click through and find that information. Have you reached out to those philanthropic entities yet in our area?
Yes, we have. As a matter of fact, I attended the last BC Vision meeting and had the honor of meeting John Bryant from the Kellogg Company and Lejeune Montgomery Tabron from the W.K. Kellogg Foundation face-to-face. So I'm praying that within a matter of weeks that we'll be able to sit down at the table of fellowship, if you will, and chat with them in more detail about our process. And hopefully they will be able to help us spearhead this effort to get this museum project in its proper place.
All right.
I was saying, from what we understand from our architects, if we get the monies, we can have this built in 2 years.
That sounds pretty quick for such a tremendous endeavor.
Indeed, and we've consulted with architects here in Battle Creek as well as down in Detroit, and they've all confirmed the same thing. It'll take at least 2 years to build a museum from the ground up. So, like I said, we already have a head start if we are blessed to acquire Freemont School. So, for all of you alumni of Fremont School, you can send $1 or 10 or 20 to this organization. As a matter of fact, someone who is an alum of Fremont School said that she wanted to hopefully get married in the school once the museum is up and running. So, like I said, there are many uses for this facility. We're even going to have a couple of restaurants. One includes a soul food restaurant, and then we're looking at a rotating restaurant that will be a part of the conference center, so you'll be able to get a panoramic view of beautiful Battle Creek.
All right. Well, we appreciate the time you've given us today, and let's stay in touch as you move along, and we'll keep updated on your goals.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Pastor Bill Stein and Reverend Dr. William Bell, members of the Sojourner Truth Museum Board of Directors, talking about their concept, their vision for the Sojourner Truth Museum in Battle Creek.